Welcome to our next guest, Marilyn Henderson, who is a candidate for the position of Area Councillor on the Victor Harbor Council. Marilyn, what expertise would you bring to the position from your previous experience in business or professional experience, community activities, etc.?
I've been involved with the My Aged Care system as a volunteer through COTA, the Council on the Ageing, SA, and I'm what is called a peer champion. I am in the community and I sit in the library, Victor Harbor Library, every Monday morning so that people can come and talk to me about the My Aged Care system. So I have a broad knowledge of what is required for our increasingly ageing population. But I have a scientific background and therefore a very rational and logical approach to decision making, and there's some of the skills I bring and some of the knowledge.
Marilyn, what does good governance mean to you?
Good governance of council means to me basically doing the job correctly according to the rules and guidelines, acting in a civilised manner and acting on behalf of the community as a representative of the community.
Over the last 4 years, there have been instances of disharmony in council. What measures do you think you would be able to take or contribute to avoid such an issue?
I think the way to avoid issues such as that is to have rational discussion. And one of my favourite sayings is that the best form of conversation is to actually listen. We need to listen to one another and have rational discussion and then make logical decisions based on the information and the evidence.
An important issue has been the costs associated with businesses operated by council, such as the Horse Tram, the Whale Centre, the Visitor Information Centre, the Fleurieu Regional Waste Authority, and of course the Fleurieu Regional Aquatic Centre. What are your views about that?
Well, I think one thing that we need the community to understand is that the council actually provides over 100 services to the community. We see the obvious ones, the rates, the rubbish collection, etc. But there are many other costs to the council. Because I haven't been on council previously, I can't really comment on what things have cost because I simply don't have that information. But I think we need to weigh up all the angles of benefits to the community from some of the developments. One of the costs I see, cost savings to the community I see from the aquatic centre, for example, is the increased health benefit to our community, having that facility to use in terms of physiotherapy, fitness, preventative medicine, in other words.
Council rates continue to be an issue with members of our community. What are your views about rate capping and council rate increases?
Well, I did have rate capping in a previous council in which I lived, and that appeared to work quite well. Everyone in the community seemed happy with that, the way that was calculated. I really can't comment further because I haven't been on council. I don't know the true costs and the true expenditure compared to the income. I haven't seen any of those figures, so I really can't comment beyond that until I'm on council, and then I'll be able to.
What's your view about the current structure and operation of committees within council?
I believe, from what I've read, I believe the current committee setup is difficult and time-consuming, and I know there is a thought to change that committee system so that it'll not be called committees as such. I believe there'll be a different naming of the structure, but it will create a more efficient process for decision making.
Marilyn, would you care to comment about the community forums operated by council?
I think they're probably a very good idea. council members, the elected members for council, are representatives of the community, and I believe that councillors should be constantly in touch with that community, and forums is probably a very good way to do that.
State government seems to be progressively pushing more obligations onto local councils. What's your opinion about that trend?
I believe the local representatives, the local council, know the community best, so that's possibly a good thing that the state government is giving more responsibility to the local governments, and local community members can possibly make the best decisions for that particular community, because all of our individual communities are different to one another.
Building development and control is now regulated by a panel on which council has progressively less say. What do you think of that pattern?
I am surprised that the panel is made up of that particular balance of people. Yes, I think I'd like to see greater input by the representatives of the people, the local people, and that is the council members.
Marilyn, could you please provide a very brief summary of the reasons why people should vote for you at the forthcoming November council elections?
Planning for the future of our vibrant, beautiful regional city is something I really would like to be a part of, because I feel very much a part of this community and I'd like to be a representative for this community. As a member of the Community Engagement Panel for the State Planning Department, I'm very much aware of the necessity to focus interests and investments of governments and local businesses towards meeting the needs and wants of our increasingly older population, whilst also creating spaces that are inviting, accessible to all ages. This will encourage intergenerational connectedness, a sense of community, opportunities for shared activities, as well as generating feelings of trust, security and safety in our community. We're already leaders in rooftop solar, and I would like to see this extended to a community-owned renewable energy project to reduce energy costs across the board, both for industry and householders. I would also work towards ensuring opportunities for positive involvement and employment of young people, and encouraging the growth of the younger demographic into our community.
Authorised by Marilyn Henderson, 12 Old Back Valley Road, Back Valley, South Australia. Spoken by Adrian Burton and Marilyn Henderson.
South Coast Television, your community, your voice.